We also are being joined by Sudhanshu Kaushik, who's in fact also joining us from Washington, D.C. Sudhanshu, a very good morning to you from India. Just to begin with, how are you looking at this trade deal where we're already looking at reduced tariffs and in general, the economic relation that seemed to have hit a rough patch last year, that seems to finally be taking shape, and we already see that with the tariffs being reduced from 25% to 18%, and also on India's part, they have said they will not be imposing tariffs on a lot of the industrial goods that get exported to the United States.
Thanks for having me, Shreya. Absolutely. I mean, it's been a tumultuous past year or so for U.S. and India relationship, but more so for Indians living in the U.S. as well, having to go through the back and forth and the swings of the relationship happening, and the commentary that was being created was creating an atmosphere that wasn't the best. And I think that now that this trade deal, at least the framework has been agreed upon, gives respite to that. A lot of people put in a lot of hard work, and I think this indicates that the relationship between India and the US is one that is for the long term. It's the one that's a strategic advantage for both countries, to their national security, to their economy, and again, most importantly, I know we're talking about this economic trade deal. What I do think this will also help allow is that atmosphere, politically and socially, both in India and the US, to ease up. One of the biggest exports and imports of both countries are the people that are living here, that are thriving here, that are impacting the economy of both countries. And I think that's the most important aspect of this, is at least the ease of tension has gone.
Definitely, the ease of tension seems to have gone. But you know, Sudhanshu, one more point or rather aspect of this trade deal was also regarding how India dealt with the entire situation. I think we, at this point of time, are standing at a juncture where we are also very clear that we will not be pushed into any particular action. If we speak of the Russian oil exports itself, the Russian oil imports itself for India, Trump had consistently been saying that, we will be imposing more tariffs, and not just saying, he'd done that in action as well. But post it, roughly, one would say almost 12 months later, we see that we've reached a negotiation point where the tariffs have now been lowered. Of course, India has also agreed to reduce their Russian oil purchase, but it also gives a new standing for India-US relationship at this point of time, would you not say?
Absolutely. Don't try to get me in trouble, but I think both sides played their cards really well. I think that Trump is known to be a great negotiator, and I think that the Modi administration was also equally silent and took a different tactic, but got what they wanted as well. Look. After all, it is 18%. It is an increase, but if you look around the region, if you look around the world, we're doing much better than at least our neighbors, but we're also doing comparatively much better than most of the world when it comes to these tariffs. And you also have to acknowledge the fact that, look, there's a vested interest for India to diversify itself, not just a service economy, but a manufacturing economy, which goes back into Prime Minister Modi's ambition to make us a manufacturing hub. So to be able to diversify and to have that approval, but also the needs and the economy of the U.S. backing you, I think that's a very strong statement from both sides. So I think that both head of states got their political approval and the win that they needed after what, again, a tumultuous year. And I think you got to give credit to not just both administrations, but the stakeholders working here. Have a few friends at the United States and India Strategic Partnership Forum. They were working day and night. You had ministers coming back and forth. There were senators who took bilateral, trips to India to be able to convince, all parties to come in. And that's not even including the actual delegations that were going from both countries. So I think a lot of people put in a lot of work for this.
Absolutely, Sudhanshu.